Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a collab with a good friend of mine, ColdBrew. And what we did was we went out and bought the early access of the new RPG Torchlight 3 so that we could try it out and try to give you guys some insight onto if it is worth getting after the early access and giving the game a try or not, and kind of give you our first impressions and have a fun little discussion about the game. So let's get into it. All right, and now I am in Torchlight 3 with my good friend ColdBrew. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey mate, I'm all good here. Just trying out this new game.
Yeah, for sure. A couple Raid Shadow Legends YouTubers that are branching out and trying to see if this game is what we wanted to do was kind of dive in and take a look, just kind of play it for a few hours, let you know if it's something worth trying out, what our first impressions are of it, and buy the game so that you maybe don't have to, or if you know that it is worth it and it is a good investment. So we're just going to kind of run around and kill some stuff and kind of have a casual conversation on our first impressions of this new Torchlight 3. So, all right, let's start running in here, and I'll let you kind of take it away here, ColdBrew.
Yeah, so Torchlight 3, I think the early access just released some time ago, like a month ago maybe. And it's just a normal ARPG game. It's the third one of the series apparently.
Yeah,
I played two
okay.
for a bit.
You played
two for a bit.
Okay.
But I didn't go too deep into it like other games. So what are your thoughts so far? Like we played a few hours so far.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not like it's not trash, but it's also not like something I would be like, you guys gotta try this. You guys gotta run out and play this ASAP. Now obviously we're not professional Torchlight players. We didn't play for 150 hours and beat the game or anything, but we did play long enough to kind of get a feel for how it works and all that. I think the density is a little bit low. There's a lot of downtime. I would like it if there was a little bit more enemies, more action. And I think the skill trees aren't very fleshed out. There's not enough maybe diversity from what I'm seeing so far, but it is important to keep in mind that it is early access and things could change, right?
Right. It's a bit confusing at first on how this game pans out. It doesn't give you much guidance to go through it. Like if you're a new player, totally new player to this kind of ARPG games, you're gonna be lost for a bit.
Yeah,
for sure. And maybe it's just the early access thing. That's how they made the game so far, and they're gonna improve on it. But for me, there's some flaws. Again, it's not a game that I would just keep on playing and playing. Just throughout the night and just kind of wait until the next morning so I can play some more.
Yeah,
it's not that kind of game for me.
Yeah, it strikes me as more of a casual kind of mess around on it experience as opposed to like a main game. We're gonna, create a clan. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna,
competitive.
Yeah, so it's if you're bored and looking for something to try out for a week or so or a few hours, sure. I would say I'm kind of neutral on it in terms of recommending to buy it or not. I would probably lean towards slightly the no side. How about you?
Definitely the no side, at least at this state. So this state is the early access state. So we only have access to it right now because we bought it.
Yeah.
Right. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to spend the money before they know how much improvement the game is going to have from this state. So what you guys are watching right now, what Chosen is showing you is just the early state of the game, which needs improvements. And if those doesn't come, it's a no from me.
Yeah, one of the cooler things I thought was kind of neat is you can send items to your pet. This is kind of cool. You can mouse over an item and hit X, and it will send it to your pet. And then out here in the main screen, you can see here up on the top left, it says send pet to town to sell items, and you can do that, and it goes on a cooldown, and they'll go and kind of keep your inventory clean. That's a really, really cool feature. I love that. I haven't seen that in like a Diablo game. Was that in Torchlight 2? You said you played Torchlight 2. Was that in there?
I played Torchlight 2, but I can't remember this kind of thing. I didn't play it too much. Again, I played it for a couple of hours. It was free to download just before this got released. So I tried it out. But yeah, this kind of feature, I think it wasn't in Diablo, right?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely it wasn't.
It
But
wasn't that kind of thing.
but Diablo 3 at least had a massive inventory. Like you could hold, 40 items or something. But Diablo 3 had a bunch of worthless drops that you would have to go to town and salvage into crafting materials and all that. But that's just a mechanic I really love. Another mechanic I really love is the consumable Scroll of Lifebound. You can basically use this to make an item a hardcore item. So when you die, you don't lose your character, but you lose that item. I think that is a ridiculously awesome idea that I'm upset that I didn't think of, because you can basically play hardcore without losing everything, but it's still extremely punishing because you lose really good items.
Right. Yeah, it gives you the benefit of having that rush of losing all your items, but also not going through that painful process of leveling up a character from scratch again, or having some characters leveled up already in case something happens. I know you probably had this as a normal thing when you played Diablo on hardcore, which hardcore was basically you went in with a character. If you died at any point, you lost everything that character had on him at that moment. And the character, you couldn't access him at all. So you
gone.
would need to level him up from 0 to the maximum level, all from scratch, and get new items again.
Yeah, no, dying in Diablo 3 hardcore was just disgustingly brutal. And back in the early days, there was a thing called the auction house where you could buy and sell gear with real money. I don't know if you played at that time. Did you play at that time?
Yeah, I played at that time. I sold a few items, so that was a good time for me. I sold a few items through that.
Well, there was a website called like Diablo3Power.com or DiabloHeroPower.com or something. And I had the number 2 Witch Doctor back in like 2012.
Oh, right, okay.
According to like this website that ranks your characters, and my gear in the auction house, I looked it up one day, was worth like $2,500. Like if I listed everything in the auction house, it would have sold
at $250, the maximum price.
Yeah, I had like some of the best items in the server. Well, one night there's a snowstorm, and my power flickered like on and off, and I lost everything. So my number 2 Witch Doctor in the world, all this gear that's worth like $2,000 something just gone because there was a snowstorm and my internet cut out for a second. Because there's no disconnect time or anything. It's just your character sits there and dies. You don't like leave the game or anything. So yeah, Diablo 3 was brutal. But to keep it on Torchlight.
Let's keep on going and also chatting, I guess.
All right, yeah, we'll keep on going. We're getting off on tangents here, but where do we go here? So do we go to this waypoint? Yeah, we click the waypoint and you go to like the boss fight. But yeah, I love that scroll idea for the hardcore. I think I like that's so cool to me.
Yeah, that's a fresh aspect, at least to my eyes as well. I don't know if this existed already or other games have it as well. Other ARPGs, maybe Path of Exile.
Path of Exile, I think they just had a hardcore mode similar to Diablo 3. But I haven't played Path of Exile for like 2 or 3 years, so they could have added something like that.
Right. So, by the way, I'm playing a mage character, kind of, and Chosen is playing a weird kind of character.
Yeah, the melee.
Yeah, a melee with a train that follows him around.
Yep. So. Yeah, see, like, so this, I constantly lay down tracks where I walk, and my train follows me and attacks things, and if I stand close to it, I get certain bonuses that I can level up and kind of choose a certain build. So, yeah, I haven't really seen a mechanic. We've seen pets before, right? Yeah, but I haven't seen a mechanic where like a train follows you, so that's definitely interesting.
Yeah, there's similar mechanics to the train, but not with buffs also, and I don't know how deep that train goes. If it becomes like a huge thing in the end when you're maximum level.
Yeah, I haven't. Obviously, we didn't go super hard to get to a point where we're like maxed out everything or something. We wanted to more or less kind of get a video out there about first impressions because it is kind of a newer game on the market, and I'm sure lots of people are curious on if it's worth $30, if you should try it or not. And I think we're kind of in agreement that it's kind of a wait and see right now. I wouldn't
Right. No rush.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush to spend the $30 right now. I would kind of wait and see how it's gonna go in terms of development from here on out.
The difficulties.
Oh yeah,
we haven't talked about that.
yeah. That's we can back out and go to the character select screen here. And talk about the difficulties. You do have to be on the same difficulty as your friend that you're trying to play with. So make sure that you're clicking this difficulty thing and you're synchronizing this with you. If you're trying to play with friends and stuff, you can only play with people that are in a similar difficulty. So now we were trying like painful. We were trying to really challenge ourselves and do painful and ridiculous and all that type of stuff. And we were able to do it. It's just like the reward didn't seem worth the time because you have to sit here and hack on bosses for like 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
And it didn't really seem like it was much of a payoff.
Yeah, it seemed like, okay, we're trying to beat this boss, and at least we would expect that we would have a huge reward in XP or, legendary items, but the boss went down and we're like, okay, what's this? There's nothing worthwhile. And then we took it down back a notch to normal just to see how much difference it was. And because you were noticing the XP beforehand on painful, I wasn't noticing it. You saw that there wasn't much of a difference, and it was like, okay, why even bother with painful?
Yeah, and again, I could be wrong, but just because I wasn't like charting it in a spreadsheet or anything, but
Yeah.
but just from the feel of the game, it didn't feel worth it to go above normal. Just in kind of our first impressions. So if you are gonna try the game, I would play on like normal or maybe hard until maybe you get to a point where you're just absolutely crushing the game. Like if you're super overpowered, you've got legendary items, and you feel like it's just ridiculously easy, then maybe bump it up. But it didn't really seem worth it, at least when you're starting out and you're kind of like under level 20 and you're developing a character. That was at least kind of my opinion on it.
Yeah, the same with me. There wasn't, the reward there to match the time investment in playing a much harder difficulty and just torturing yourself going through it.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Well, no, I didn't want to take up too much of your guys' time and too much of ColdBrew's time. I did want to get, because I know I was curious. Like a week or two ago, I was curious. I was like, hey, what's Torchlight look like, or what's Torchlight 3 look like? Is it worth it? Should I spend money on it? And my opinion, and I believe ColdBrew agrees, is that you should wait. And $30 is a little bit too expensive for the type of game that you're getting right now. But there's some bones here to make a fun game that could be worth $30 or $40 if they keep kind of working on and fleshing out and adding features. So yeah, that's kind of my sentiment. Is there anything you wanted to add as we kind of close here?
No, I think I covered it, guys. Don't buy this game just now. Just wait for a bit. Maybe there's an open beta in the future through Steam. You can try it out there then, and probably for free instead of just paying for early access. That will be a way better chance for you to go through the game. Maybe there's some better changes. We might go through it once there's an open beta again, and see like second impressions.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, hey, man, I had a blast playing the game with you, and I had a lot of fun bringing you on the channel and getting your perspective, and yeah, it's always a good time to bring you here. I'm sure we'll do a video again in a month or two or something. So yeah, I'll let you kind of say goodbye, and we'll be on our way.
Right, guys, thanks for watching this different video. This is not a raid video, of course. If you enjoyed this kind of videos, like me playing with Chosen, some other games, just leave it down in the comments so we can maybe try some other games as well and do some videos or a live stream for you guys.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy, yeah.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for this video. And again, a huge shout out to ColdBrew for taking the time to join me. It's always fun to sit down with him and do a video. I will link to his channel down in a pinned comment, so definitely check him out. He's a good dude who makes good content. So let me know what you think about Torchlight 3, if you've played it or if you were thinking about scooping it up and all that good stuff. I mainly cover raid on this channel 95% of the time, but I do like to keep an ear to the ground and do some random stuff once or twice a month just to kind of see how things are going in the gaming industry. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.